Alright, in this video we'll see how to create a plugin which will display the event information. So this is an event information, and again these are the people who are going to attend this event. And when I click on this button, you'll see an AJAX request and you'll get to know the event date and time. So fine, here this is the information that we get from the shortcode. So this is coming from the event CPT, and this is coming from employee CPT, and in between we have a AJAX request. So let me show you how the event information is added. So when I click on events, you'll see this event. If I change the text to 2026, and I would like to show one more thing. If I make this true, you'll see the current classic editor will get changed to block editor. So we'll see how to do this, and make sure, let's just update it to 2006, and the changes will get reflected on this page since we have used the shortcode. And see, it's 2026. Similarly, I would like to add one more employee to this event, that he or she is going to get attend. So he or she would be attending. Now here in the employees list, we need to add one more employee, and this is the title. And we have created a custom taxonomy. Let's use IT and development. Click on publish. So this employee post has a department taxonomy, so that we get to know that this particular employee is tied to which department. Now if I refresh this page, you'll get 3 employees that would be attending, and these 2 employees are from IT and department. Here in this tutorial we'll see a deep down knowledge of how to use custom post type and about taxonomy, and we'll be using AJAX to get to know what is the the event time. You'll see, without getting page refresh, the time is getting loaded. Now I'm just placing the shortcode, and we get in the form of HTML format. This is what we are going to see. This is episode number 46 in WordPress development. Similarly, if you are a very beginner, I have a perfect roadmap for becoming a WordPress developer or a web developer or a Laravel developer. I would recommend you to start from HTML. It has 56 lessons, and then go to CSS. It has hundreds of lessons. Then move to JavaScript. It has hundreds of lessons, and then move to PHP, then WooCommerce, then PHP theme development, then plugin development. Each of the course is made in such a way it will make you from zero to hero. Don't just think it's just a practical course. It's a theory course. It's a complete practical course. From day one, you'll be learning how to convert a simple template into HTML and CSS. Then we'll move forward to convert a template which is PSD to HTML, and then we'll use a bootstrap framework of CSS. As I said, this is going to be a zero to hero. Similarly, for the JavaScript also, it has hundreds of practical lessons. You would be starting from creating WYSIWYG editor, and then we'll be creating typing challenge. And as they progress in the hundredth lesson, you'll learn how to create custom chatbot, and you'll learn how to use quiz scheme, and you'll see how to create IDMP clone, and you'll learn how to detect the location and the browser and the typing test scheme. So I leave the link in the description in case if you're interested into becoming a web developer or HTML developer or a web designer or a WordPress developer or a PHP developer or a Laravel developer. This is the perfect roadmap. It will take you from zero to hero. If you like my videos, if you want to fuel my coding journey, I would recommend you to visit this page and donate some amount, and I'll receive that amount through Razorpay. I'll leave the link in the description in case if you're interested. First and foremost thing, we want to make our plugin link active in this particular page. So for that, what we'll do is we'll need to create a new folder. Let's just name it as pro, and we need to have a PHP file. So let's create a PHP file. It is recommended to have the same name as your folder name, so pro.php. Now we need to pass some information to this page so that WordPress knows what's the plugin name, what's the description of the plugin, what's the version number, and who is the author. Now to make that work, we need to pass metadata, and this metadata will be in the form of comments, and this is the URL, and this is the short description. So this is the description, this is the version number, and this is the author. Now this is enough to make your plugin visible on this particular page. UI manager. So this is nothing but the plugin link, the author, the version number, and the description. These details are coming from this comments. Now what we need is, I want to show similar to this event custom post type. So for that I need to call a hook which is init and tie my custom function to it, and this function will call register custom post function. So we need to pass some argument inside it, and these argument has individual usage. I'll just name it as events2, and this is the post type. So I'll just show you some way. If I search for events and click enter, you'll see the archive page shows up. So this archive page is possible only because of this archive name, and if you see this events I'm giving customized, so I want the archive page should have a custom URL, so you can make this events-2. Now for this custom post type, just by placing events-2, you'll have the list of events attached, and this public is because individual what do you call this, individual event will have a separate permalink. So that is made possible only because of this public true. And show in rest is true. It's because when we make show in rest is true, that's when the block editor will show up. If you make this false, you'll see, if you make this false, this will make the block editor go, and you'll find the old code editor. And we are making title to appear, we are making editor field to be appeared, we are making expert to be appeared, we are making thumbnail to be appearing to be appeared on the particular CPT. And for the dash icons, I am making this dash icon. If you want, you can go for dash developer resource slash dash icon, where you'll find your custom needed dash icon. So let me just have this dash icon instead of this one. So this is a link. On each page reload, you will get unique dash icon. See, now it's this body icon. Cool. Now if I refresh the page, make sure your plugin is active or else it won't work. When I make this active, we would see event2. When I click on it, you'll see the post type which we have mentioned over here shows up. Now in case if I add one more event, let me add one event and show you how the archive page visible. So wellness workshop is the event name, and we have the excerpt, and then we have the description, and that's it. If you click on publish, since we don't have a taxonomy here, it won't be available. Now if I click here, it has a custom page. This custom page is made only possible because we have made public true, but it won't show up until and unless you rewrite the URL. So you have to rewrite the URL by changing the permalink. So if I make this change, say save changes, and if I refresh this page will be available. You see, this permalink, each event will have a particular permalink, so that's possible because of this plugin public true. And let's check for the events, and if I make this events-2, so this is the category page, and your wellness workshop shows up. Cool. Now we know why we use this public, why we use this hash archive, why we use this REST API, and this support, it's possible because we have, this is actually a title, and this text box is actually editor, and this is actually excerpt, yes, excerpt, and then we have a thumbnail. We don't need thumbnail as of now. Now we need to create one more post type, custom post type for employee. So let's do that. We are going to do the same thing, but here we will be using custom taxonomy. Similar, I have used init, and I have made this init function, this function attached to the init hook, and then we have this argument. So instead of passing a single label which is event2, I am making this name as employees, and if it is singular it is going to be employee, and I'm passing that in the form of array. And we know why this public is to have unique permalink for individual employee, and you know why this is to make this block editor, and you know why this is so that we have archive page for UI monk hyphen employees. And this is a support. We'll have title and editor. We don't need an editor, we can just manage it with title. And then this is the dash icon group. I have shown you how to get the dash icon, so you can just have this dash icon for the employee. And then we are registering the post type with the name which we have used. So this is what you see over here. So if I make a refresh, you'll see in the slug, I think there are two employees. Let's just name this as employee hyphen 2. So you see employee, and if I click on employees, what you will see is, if I click on add post, you'll just see a title and a publish button. Now I need to register a taxonomy to this. So for that, this is going to be similar to how we have used register post type. Here in this case it's going to be registered taxonomy. So I'm setting the label. So inside the label I have passed the array. I'll show you what this hierarchy does, and I'll show you what this. So after that, the argument is defined. We need to pass those argument to the register taxonomy, and this is the slug for the taxonomy, or you can say the handler for the taxonomy, and this is the post type. You can see this post type is linked to this taxonomy. This taxonomy is linked to the post type, and you are passing the argument. And once it is saved, I'll show you. Here you will find department as a taxonomy. Let's just make this 2, so to avoid confusion. So we have departments. So once I click on department, you'll see what happens. Now it's category. What if I don't want category, I just want tags? The category will allow you to have one category. Let's say department. Department is a category. Inside department we will have 3 more department. Let's say I have a category called department, and these are the department are called as tags or terms in WordPress. In WordPress we call these terms. So these are terms. And what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is department. So this is department. I don't want this to be hierarchical. What if I want it to be just flat? Instead, if you want to make this as flat, no hierarchical, you just need to make sure you just need to pass false. If you refresh, you'll see now it's flat. You don't see any hierarchy. Even if I click on add post, you'll see the tags. You see separate tags with if you make this true, you will see the hierarchy. So let me add a category, and I can name these category as human resources. Add to category. You can add category in this way or get into the categories. So this is going to be the second category or term, and this is going to be the third term, and these term will be visible on the add post section. Now let's check the post. So I need the content as well, so we don't need content for this. So let me make this Ananya Sharma, HR department. Click on publish. You see this URL is only possible because we make this public. Let's try removing it. Let's try removing it, whether the permalink shows up or not. Sorry, you're not allowed to edit this post. Yes, it's not it's not even allowing us to edit the post because we have set it. It doesn't have any URL. So if I click on it, as of now there is no post. So that to make this post, to make this taxonomy work, what we need to do is we need to just change the permalink. When I change the permalink, it rewrite rules. So if I refresh, you'll find this page work. What happens is when I create a custom post type, WordPress doesn't know that it's actually a custom post type. So once I rewrite the rules, we can either make this by changing the permalink, or we need to write a function called when the when someone activates a plugin, I want to rewrite the rule by itself. So in that case, we'll be using register activation hook like we have used earlier. Here we are here just for the demonstration purpose. I'm just switching to here and there so that we see the permalink in action. Now these employees are a category. So what if I want to list all the employees in one particular page? It's called an archive page in WordPress. So if I click, whatever name I'm going to add here will be visible on this archive page of employee. So this is employee sales and IT. Click on publish, and if you make a refresh on this archive page, you'll see two employees shows up, and each of them will definitely have a permalink. So that's because of this public equal to true. Public is true. Now we'll see how to add a shortcode. So that shortcode will be responsible for displaying the time. So for that, to make the shortcode work, we have a function called add shortcode, and in add shortcode we are displaying the HTML with the help of output buffer start and output buffer clean. So when this is start, this is actually a PHP function. It stores all the HTML into a buffer, and once you add this called ob get clean, output buffer get clean, this HTML will be printed on the front end when you add this shortcode. So let us create a page, and we'll add that shortcode. So new page. So you can see upcoming events and the shortcode. Click on publish, and if you visit this, as of now we have not integrated the HTML. We have added the HTML, so this is the HTML that is getting displayed, but when I click on it, the request will not send to the AJAX. So now we have already seen how AJAX works in WordPress. We need to have a action parameter so that WordPress knows that whatever request this function is sending, that need to get captured by this hook, by a hook called wp underscore ajax underscore this action. So what we are doing is we are sending a request with the action parameter, and whatever we receive as a response, we are just displaying it over here. So you can see we'll receive the JSON format, and we'll receive in the JSON format, and we are just displaying it in the HTML out.html. So the out is actually this div what we have added over here, and it will just display the response. If there is no response, you'll get this error. Now this request is sent somewhere. How WordPress knows that this request is sent to a particular place? So for that we have a hook. So that hook will have this action attribute. Let's see. The hook is wp underscore ajax underscore and then this action. So you can see this action followed by wp. So this is for the not logged in user. This is for the not logged in user. Now we need to write what do you call this? We need to write a function so that when I click on it, the response gets sent to this section and it gets appended to the HTML. So let's do that. So this is the, so you can make this 30th September on 12 PM. There would be event. So if you want, you can add this. So when you refresh this, you'll see on clicking without page refresh, this is the event time. Click on it. The response you get, where the response is received by the fetch API, and it displays on the HTML just below the button. So without page refresh, you'll see when I refresh this, when I click on it, the page will not refresh, but the response you'll receive it and get displayed over here. Now similarly, we need to write a shortcode so that we can display the event information. So for that it's very easy. Now if we are using a custom table, then we need to use a custom query. Since it's a custom post type, all the insert operation, update operation, and retrieve operation will be done by the WordPress itself. So we have a function called WP query. We just need to pass the values like what is the post type, or how many data you need, what is the what in what order you want this to be displayed, and in what uh, I want the event to be displayed in descending order, sorry, date, and the order to be in descending order. And then since we have received the post, we assume that this post is there, and then we'll just use the post option to display one by one. As of now we just have one post, so consider that it's actually one post. And then will display the title, display the excerpt, will display the content. So these are actually high level function. So what do you mean by high level and low level? We have already seen in the previous video. High level function is created with the help of low level function. Low level function will just display the raw HTML, while high level function will display the HTML. So that's enough. And now this shortcode will allow you to add the event information. Just click on save, and if you refresh, once it gets saved, you'll see the information about the event. Similarly for the employees, but the catch here is we will be using taxonomy. There would be only one addition. Along with WP query, inside the WP query we will be passing tax query, and that tax query will be responsible for retrieving the taxonomy. You'll see this is the taxonomy, and if there is anything to hide, just hide it. We don't need this as of now because we don't have anything. I'm just getting the terms. So the term is nothing but the taxonomy name, and we are passing that taxonomy to the tax query. So you can see tax query is actually array inside array. We have an array, and inside the array we are passing the taxonomy, and we are saying that there would be taxonomy. The taxonomy, we need to match it with the term ID. So that's the reason why we are saying field is equal to term ID, and we are passing the term ID as a reference to the taxonomy. So for this you need to understand the structure of database, which we have already seen yesterday very clearly. So the taxonomy, terms, and term relationship, these things are stored in 3 database tables. So when I say we have HR2, actually this isn't the one where we used to add the employees. Let me just, so if I click on edit, you'll see we have department 2 as human resource, IT, and so these are terms. These terms are stored where? These terms are stored inside WP underscore terms. So if I scroll down, you'll see these terms are coming. These terms are actually what you have displayed over here. So these relationship with this taxonomy is stored in a table called, let me just duplicate this, called term taxonomy relationship. Sorry, term taxonomy. So we have department 2. In other word, instead of department 2, we have named the taxonomy with the handler. So the handler is going to be, let me just show you where the taxonomy we have displayed, we have added. So this is the taxonomy, and you see this is over here. So these taxonomy has 3 values, which is 15, 16, 17. So we see 15, 16, 17, and we need to match it with the term ID. So you can see term ID 15, 16, 17. So that's the reason why we are saying to match the field with term ID, because we would be receiving the term ID from the department. So you can see this is actually a taxonomy, and whatever taxonomy that is linked will receive the term ID. So that's the reason why we have made get terms. So these are the terms will receive the in the form of array. So you can see we'll receive them in the form of array, and once we receive in the form of array, it's actually a tag term ID. So that's the reason why we say match the taxonomy with the past term ID. That's how it will get linked, and based on the now we have a department. So first department will be displayed. So this loop will run till the department is empty. So this is the first department, and the department post will be displayed, the employee details will be displayed, and this is the second department, and then the second details employment will be displayed. Second details employee details will be displayed. So now again we need to have the shortcode for the employee list. Click on save, and if you refresh, so these are the two employees that were added, and the AJAX also will work. Let me add one more post and show you. So we have Priya Nair on IT department again. Click on publish. Now you will see in IT department 2 employees will be attending the meeting. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. Meet you tomorrow with another plugin idea.